All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. All right, and that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Now, what moved me to do this lesson, is that, hey, when we walk in this truth, we have to be found blameless, okay? Especially when you desire to have a position where you bring attention to this truth, okay? And as you see in the imagery, we have this person by the name of Vocab doing his take on this Sakari thing. And as the old saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Okay? And if that's being so, just look at this imagery, this picture right here. What is it screaming at you? I told you so. This is screaming, I told you so. Vocab is, throwing a slight I told you so at the ministry, okay? And we're going to play a little bit of this show that he had, probably a few minutes or so, and let you see just of that, okay? Because although he comes off as, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. We supposed to not look at him for this and look at him from that, speaking about the member of the Sakari, Alazar, Gorilla Hebrew. You see? But we supposed to rebuke that type of behavior, all right? And it's in the scriptures, okay? See, certain Israelites don't want to have this type of behavior rebuked to the degree that we should just wipe it up under the rug and allow him to, what I believe, they want to presume his position, okay? When it is the Most High, Yahweh, through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, that exposed this whole thing. So that all that could see could take heed and could leave. All right? Now, if you want to be under that idolatry and worship Him, and if He comes back and resume His position, and you want to follow after Him after you receive the warning, then that's on you. Okay? And as I said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, this picture speaks volume. Okay? Look at the background. Look at the background drop with Vocab hand on his chin as if to say, I told you so. This ministry was of the devil. Okay? That's what he's essentially saying with this imagery that he chose to put. All right? And we're going to play, like I said, a few minutes of his podcast or whatever you want to call it, of him pretending to not want to mock or to scoff. But I'm going to play a portion of this where at the end of that portion, it's going to show you exactly what he wants to do and what he wants to say. All right? For a particular set or sect of the Israelites that actually rebuke this behavior, okay? So let's let it play.
Sure. And it doesn't matter. We're not saying we don't care. We're not talking about cheap grace and sloppy agape. That's not what we're talking about. Understand? We're also not talking about, I saw one Israelite video, the guy was like, well, and he started sharing the details of his own particular fetishes and whatnot, and was like, well, I got that, so I I'm not saying, well, you're like, well, because I do this, it's cool. No, we're not talking about that type of stuff. Because those guys have been overlooking it. Other people are like, well, he's such a great teacher, you know. Okay, but you see, none of those.
And remember, none of this stuff that he's talking about is coming from a place of in your best interest. Okay, he's just using all of this to make it seem as if that is the case. But in actuality, he's throwing jabs or, slights at the ministry, okay? As we've seen earlier in the imagery that was showed, okay? You have to be very and keen to this devil, okay? Because it's so subtle that if you can't tell the details within the whole picture, you will believe that this person actually has your best interest at heart, okay? Forgive your brother, all right? See? And it's the same thing, man. Where here it is, you got Christians that find and be in the same type of scandals, if not worse, with little boys and things like that. And how many videos have you seen of him rebuking them? All right? But this truth, you see, they want to bring so much dirt to it that they don't have to really say too much. They can just, if you can read between the lines, you can get the picture that it's as if they are just saying, told you, ha, ha, ha. That's, a doctrine of Satan, all right? Into the peons, for lack of better words, they'll believe it, man. Okay? But you see, that's the difference, that remnant, that elect, they're going to see right through this, man. So let's let it finish playing, and then we're going to get a few precepts.
Are a biblical view of this issue. The grace and the mercy comes whether he was the world's worst teacher or the world's best teacher. You see what I'm saying? We still walk in that. Whether you're not, you struggle with something in your own life, or do or don't, it's not based upon that. You understand? It's got to be based upon something objective, not subjective. Oh, he did this to me, so I'm extra mad about it. That doesn't work. You see, there's all kinds of ungodly ways to process this. So if you're a Christian and you're watching this, and I understand this is difficult because I'm trying to say some things without saying other things. So if you're confused, listen to this. Ask yourself, how have I been dealing with this? How have I been working with this? What's been going on? And that's why I appreciate my brother Jim Green so much. He said, you know what? When I first heard about this, I wanted to jump up and go live and be like, see, told you. So, but you know what? The Holy Spirit got a hold of me. He said, that's not the way to go, Jim. And Jim didn't go that way. God bless his soul. Alton, my man, he said the same thing. He said, man, when I first heard about this, I wanted to jump and be like, see, I told you, see, look. He said, but the Holy Spirit they basically said the same thing. Alton told me in private. I think Jim made a video about it. Either way, that was fresh. They were like, you know what? The Holy Spirit told me to do something.
Hey, and I wouldn't be surprised if they come back, or if he comes back under this whole apologetic Christian belief all of a sudden, okay? I would not be surprised one bit, okay, if he, speaking of the gorilla, comes back as an apologist, all right? And he comes out after the Israelites, all right? I would not be surprised one bit, okay, if the play is move over from, preaching the truth to now coming up against the Israelites, all right? Because he's already stated how that Paul's writing is not authoritative figure, is not authoritative, okay? So I would be not surprised one bit, okay?
Different. I felt led in a different way. And that's beautiful. Cain Cadmus, you're going to get timed out. I said we're not doing those kind of comments. I understand that you yourself are a former Israelite. I don't know the exact where you are at these days, but you're going to have to clean up the language there. We're going to go ahead and time you out for that. Jeremy, I need you to be a little more charitable. It's demonic doctrine. How can he be a good teacher? I'm talking about his skill set, the talent, the gift. There's people who are false teachers who have gifts in the area, and that's one of the reasons people listen to it. I feel like you're being nit.
So if you have the ability to speak and articulate your words, but the doctrine that you teach is not aligned with the word, then according to this person, vocab, you're gifted. Yeah, in the world, you are, but not in this word, okay? So this is at the minute mark, the 26th minute of this video. All right, and we're gonna probably let it play all the way up until about the 30th minute mark, because that's when, you know, the light actually starts to come out of what he's actually trying to do, okay?
Picky and pedantic with a lot of what I'm saying here. Can you not? Can you not, please? So, shout out to Radar Apologetics. Everyone subscribe to him. He does really good work as well. Shout out to Kingdom Apologetics. Got some dope people in the house tonight. Shout out to all of y'all hanging in there. Grant Scott, Jesus said, love your enemies. So even if you don't consider them enemies, still love them. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I like that. That's real good. That's real good. Now, there's been some Christians saying some bad things, you know, out of pocket. But by God's grace, I haven't actually seen that many that are that bad. I'm going to share a little bit of a message I got today from a supporter of the channel. Oh, she's well, you guys know Warrior Woman. She said, it's pretty disturbing and disappointing that so-called Christians are jumping on this Al-Azhar expose train in full explicit detail on their channels. We get it, he's been exposed, but I'm witnessing a level of real enjoyment with some of these believers. Running with this for clicks and views and not coming from a good place with it at all. And it's almost hedonistic and it feels wrong. Never ceases to amaze me how much people love to gossip and chop people.
And this is coming from a guy that has the Cash App handler on the bottom of his screen, Street Apologist, and the PayPal and Patreon. And he's speaking of there's Christians that's running with this just for clicks and views. Well, what do you think you're doing? All right? You want to get clicks and views so you can get paid. All right? See the hypocrisy all around, man. All right? It's just blatant, you know, that this isn't coming from a place of sincerity and truth. It's coming from a place of mockery. And I told you so. All right? Covered up with the fact that, oh, yeah, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You know, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if he does make a return and come back under, you know, this person's, you know, organization, or he starts his own organization under this apologetic or whatever type of teaching. Because you can do whatever you want to do and be forgiven under Jesus Christ, okay? You see? You can say and do whatever, and you don't have to be held accountable. You know, Jesus forgives you. As you've seen under that person's, let's see what it says. We can go back a few frames. Man, I had it too. It was on there. Not Jeremy Ross, is it? I might not be able to get it exactly. See? Under this handler, Grant Scott, it says, Jesus says, love your enemies, so even if you don't consider them enemies, still love them. You see, so under this teaching of Jesus Christ, you know, you can do and be accused of what is said that he's done or he was getting ready to do or what he have had, you know, fetishes for. You know, sticking things in his rectal. Okay? You can do that type of behavior and be forgiven under Jesus Christ, okay? So it wouldn't surprise me one bit, you know, if he comes back as an apologist or under vocab teaching or under his own teaching under the apologists, okay? You see? It would not surprise me one bit. Speaking of the camp leader of the Sicarii, if he came back as an apologist. All right? So let's continue. Let's let these last few minutes play of this clip, and then we're gonna get a few precepts.
When they're already down. This is from Warrior Woman. Shout out to you, sister. This was a great message. I'm glad you sent this, and I hope it's okay if I read it. I'm not gonna read every line, but some of what she said here. Why do believers need to create explicit videos going through each line of Al-Azhar and one of his wife's texts, further trying to humiliate him? It feels wrong that some are going through the play-by-play trying to further humiliate him. I'm always a believer that what a person can do to another in front of you, they can do to you under just the right circumstances.
The scriptures say, hate the evil and love the good, man. And judge. So, if you was a defender of this word, you supposed to judge this, okay? This is a matter in which we supposed to judge to what? To the degree that those that take heed and listen will run from this, okay? Because if you don't, and you allow this behavior to continue to go on throughout the ministry, then you're going to have those individuals that follow said individuals like, Gorilla, to what? Be misled and even farther down the line to be brought up to the slaughter, okay? When they take that chip, all right? So that's why.
Exactly right. And says it's easy to kick a person when they messed up and got it so wrong, And I appreciate what she says here. She says, am I saying he deserves a free pass? No. But he's feeling probably like he wants to crawl in a hole right now, and that's a horrid place to be regardless of what transpired. Praying this could be a catalyst for change. There's a way.
Come on, man. You think he actually feels that way? All right? He wasn't really going to come out with that had he never been exposed. So just think if the Most High didn't expose this, how much longer will you think he would have been doing this behind closed doors, all while being put on front as this, leader of a Israelite group, an Israelite camp, He would have continued doing this, okay? So it's through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that he was even exposed, man. All right? Take it for what it is, not for what you want it to be.
It still highlights something, how something happened, and what that means going forward, yet in the spirit of growth and education. Respect. Appreciate that. That's good. So there are some Christians who've been...
Now check it out. Here goes the point I want to make to you right here. He's setting it up. Now there are some Christians that has been a little bit more forgiving, but now he's finna take a putt shot at those Israelites that are condemning this type of behavior. All right, let's listen to it. Pay very close attention.
Out of pocket, but by and large,
for the most part, our Christian brothers have been understanding and forgiving. This is basically what he's saying. Whereas the Israelites, or a specific set of Israelites, have not been, okay? Showing you how he wants to, use this truth, man, to his benefit, all right? To what? To make it look stained, to make it have a stain on it. But he can't, man, because the elect see right through it. So pay attention.
I have been seeing balanced, mature approaches by Christians, by and large. By and large, I've seen more grace and mercy and humility and forgiveness from the Christians than I have from so-called Hebrew Israelite brothers of Al-Azhar. And the Christians that are walking in that spirit of...
See that? Then the so-called brothers of Al-Azhar. Well, that's just it, man. We are not all on the same page, man. Okay? See, they want to lump all the Israelites together, and we hearing it from the horse's mouth. from the brothers of Al-Azhar. So you see, they look at it as we are all one unit. They don't see that we teach different doctrines. This is what they want to persecute us, or how they want to persecute us in the eye of the public. That the black Hebrew Israelites is one, they are all one brother. So this is every Israelite this is how all the Israelites are getting down behind closed doors. That's why we have to be very careful, man, because some of these camps they set up, they've been compromised. All right? To what? Bring dirt on the name, on the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. But guess what? They're not going to do it, man. They're not going to succeed, because we're going to expose that. So you heard it. By and large, for the most part, Christians have been showing maturity more than the brothers of Sakari. We're not all on the same page. It says in Amos, can two walk together lest they be in agreement, man? So you have to be very careful of this damn devil, man. He's so subtle that if you can't pick and read between his words, you'll believe every last bit. So you see it, the play is being put into action, that he want to lump all of us together under this deviant act, okay? And we supposed to be blameless so that we don't get this ministry blamed, all right? That's why we rebuking this behavior, man. Let's hear it one more time. Let's hear how subtle this devil is.
More grace and mercy and humility, out of pocket, but by and large, I have been seeing balanced, mature approaches by Christians, by and large. By and large, I've seen more grace and mercy and humility and forgiveness from the Christians than I have from so-called Hebrew Israelite brothers of Al-Azhar. And the Christians that are...
So there you have it. So-called brothers, Hebrew Israelites, brothers of Al-Azhar, man. Hey, he ain't no brother according to the word. The word says, who is my brother and sister? Those that keep the commandments, man. You walking off and doing things and putting yourself in position to have the ministry blamed. Hey, you ain't no brother of this word, man. Okay? It is what it is, man. All right? You're supposed to be, especially in that position, you're supposed to be blameless, man. Okay? So this devil, he's going to lump all of us together in one category, all right? And it's blatant, it's evident if you can see it. Okay, so let's get a few precepts. All right, this is Ezekiel 22, and let's start at the top. You see the heading says the sins of Israel. Verse 1, moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, now thou son of man, will thou judge? Will thou judge the bloody city? Speaking of Israel, Jerusalem, because it's a people before it's a place. Yea, thou shalt show her all her abominations. So we supposed to be in the position that we are in when someone goes off in this word, in this truth, we supposed to judge them, all right? Especially such a heinous act as plugging yourself with a object. That's sodomy. Okay? And these heathens, these other nations, they can't wait to take putt shots at the truth, man. And you giving them fuel to do just so. Verse 3, then say thou, thus saith the Lord Almighty, the city sheddeth blood in the midst of it, that her time may come and maketh idols against herself to defile herself. Right, Jerusalem is known for its idolatry, man. You put this person up on a damn pedestal because he done, did quote unquote good works and he done, brought a lot of people into the truth. Hey, man, the Most High could care less, because if you don't endure it to the end, all your work says is if it was for nothing. Okay? He uses people to discard them all the time, man. All right, this guy, yeah, he might have been, good in articulating his words and breaking down the scriptures, and it may have just been just to what? Wake up those that were of the elect. And now that the elect has been sealed, the Most High no longer needs them, which is why he exposed them. Okay? You see? So are there elect members amongst Sakari? There could be. Are there elect members have heard some of the teachings of this guy from Sakari? There could be. But the Most High doesn't need you, man. Okay? He'll use you and then discard you when he no longer needs you. All right? And that's something that we have to be very fearful of, man. Okay? That we can be taken out at any time, man. Lest we get, big-headed. So yeah, this guy, as Vocab said, could be perceived as a great orator or a great, speaker, which the Most High could have used that gift to use him to what? Wake up some of the elect members. And now that those elect members are sealed, he no longer needs this guy anymore. And that goes for any other camp. That ain't preaching the truth, man. That what? You could have just been used to wake up an elect member so that he could be what? Funneled into the truth where they can receive the truth. The Most High works, man, okay, in ways we can't fathom and think of. Isaiah 55, I believe, verse 7 or 8. Your ways are not my ways. As the heavens are higher than, well, let's just go there. Because you can't figure out the Most High. Isaiah 55 in verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So you can't see why the Most High would give such an individual this type of talent to go into studies, to break down scriptures, okay? To be a great orator or articulate his words. You can't understand why that he would do something like that and then expose him to the fact that he may fall out of the truth altogether. Because why? His service is no longer needed. It's hit its intended target, the elect, whoever that may have been that heard him speak. And that person is now sealed. And now that his job is done, the gorilla, the Most High no longer needs him. Which is why he exposed him for the shit that he was doing behind closed doors, man. But then you got these apologetic so-called Christians that want to make you feel or try to make you look bad in the light or in the eyes of the people that, oh, you don't want to stand in solidarity with your Hebrew brother. Well, what does it say in Mark 3 in verse 35? It says, for whosoever shall do the will of the Most High, the same is my brother and my sister and mother. You think that ninja was doing the will of the Most High? Trying to get his rectum, plugged with foreign objects? All while being in the truth? Come on, man. Quit it. Stop it. And then he wasn't going to come out with it. if he would have never been exposed, man. the hypocrisy of these people, man. So let's go back to Ezekiel 22. We just read Isaiah 55 and pick up at verse 3. It says, Then said thou, Thus saith the Lord Almighty, the city sheddeth blood in the midst of it, that her time may come, and maketh idols against herself to defile herself. So you got to be careful of making these damn so-called, men that's put and heap names and exalt themselves to not make them idols. Chief, priests, things that they not or ought not to have titles and names of, But now you don't reverence them as being some type of savior or some type of God-sent tool. And then when they expose, you can't accept them for their flaws. Because why? You made them an idol. All right? Verse 4. Thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed, and hast defiled thyself in thy idols which thou hast made. So you got to be careful of not making these damn men idols to the point that they are above reproach. Now you can't say nothing about him because you hating your brother. Yet this nigga, plugging shit up is, what? All right? And that's supposed to be our brother? Come on, man. And he wasn't going to come out and say anything had he not been exposed. All while perpetrating or coming off as this man of the Lord of, the lawgiver, Levi. And meanwhile, look what he's doing, man. Look what he's accused of. Look at the scandal. And these heathens and certain of our people, they running with it, man. They can't wait to throw dirt on the ministry. All right? Whether directly or indirectly, as this so-called apologetic Christian vocab did, was an indirect jab at the ministry, man. Look at our Christian brothers, how they've grown in maturity, but look at the Black Hebrew Israelite brothers of Sakari, trying to say that those of us that are rebuking this is not showing mercy to this person. No, man. We're doing and showing obedience to the word. We're supposed to rebuke this type of behavior, man, so that the people that are following this can see this, man, and take heed and run, okay? Get from around that type of behavior, because just imagine if the Most High didn't expose that. You see? This guy would have still been, he probably would have went through with it. Or probably already went through with it. It says, verse 4, Thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed, and hast defiled thyself in thy idols, which thou hast made, and thou hast caused thy days to draw near, and art come even unto thy years. Therefore have I made thee a reproach unto the heathen. You see, these heathens, man, these other nations, they can't wait to throw dirt on the ministry. That's why we got to be blameless, man. It says, in a mocking to all countries. You see? So not only to all countries, but the heathen amongst our people that already look at the Israelites, although they Israelites too, but they look at the awakening as something that's, evil and bad and demonic. Now we have something like this that gives them all the fuel of fire to, go out and try to expose. Oh, I told you those black Israelites, you see, they say one thing and do another. See, that's why we got to be blameless, man, because the heathen amongst our people that don't want to accept the truth and the other heathens amongst the other nations in the other countries, they already looking at this ministry, this truth with a certain, level of disdainment. Now, something like this happened from such a prominent, quote unquote, leader in the Israelite community, awakening, that gives them all the fuel of fire, man. Okay? See, you don't want to stand in solidarity with your brothers, but the Christians, we have matured enough that we don't want to throw jabs and slights at him, showing you our maturity. Nah, we know what you don't want to do. You don't want to correct that and rebuke that because you want to encourage that type of behavior. Which is why I said it would not shock me one bit if he was to come back in some way, shape, or form of capacity as teaching something like apologetic or some type of other doctrine. All right? Would not surprise me one bit. So let's go to 1 second. Second Corinthians chapter 6. All right. Point is at verse 3. Well, we'll go at verse 1. It reads, "We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye receive not the grace of the Most High in vain." So we can't take this opportunity of grace in vain. We supposed to actually be remorseful and repentful of our ways. Not coming into this truth and still trying to, be a ninja in the world, man. All while putting on the facade as somebody in this truth. Verse 2, "For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation have I succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Behold, now is the day of salvation." See? We supposed to be preparing ourselves for the day of salvation, man. Not doing things that's going to what? Make the ministry blameful. Verse 3, "Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed." Okay? What that was an offense. Now these heathens amongst our people in the other countries, they could look at that and blame the ministry. All right? Because that's what they want to do anyways. All right? They really want a more prominent group than that, but they'll use Sakari for the time being. All right? They'll use that, but they really want a more prominent group. All right? You know which group they want. All right? It says, "Giving no offense," which is why some of these groups has been compromised, man. 501c3s, all right? It's only a matter of time, okay? It's only a matter of time, man, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah is going to expose all that, all right? So it says, verse 4, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distress. So we supposed to be proving ourselves or approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, not to bring blame and not to bring dirt on the name. All right? You know, you claim to be such in high regards that you're not supposed to be bringing blame to the name. All right? Because why? We see these heathens, they can't wait, okay, to throw dirt on the name. You know? And you can find other Israelites along with other, nations that's reporting on this, okay? But just think how much more they want to really throw dirt on our names in the time of persecution. They're going to bring this up, man. Don't think this is just going to go away. This is going to be used later on down the road in the time of our persecution. They carrying sticks to the camp, which is, firearms. They doing all type of abominable acts, all right? Just really wait and see when they really persecute this truth, man. Okay? So Philippians, we're going to get a couple of more, and then we close out. Philippians 2. In 15, it reads that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. You see, so we waking it up to this truth, we supposed to be a light to the nation of Israel, so that we may shine amongst that perverse nation, amongst a nation that's looking for any excuse to still be in this world. We supposed to be a light to that, to shine against all of that. And this act like this puts it doesn't put a stain on the truth, but it makes the individual look like they're a hypocrite, which they are. Okay? But it by no means, way, shape, or form puts any type of bad taste on the truth, man. Because the truth is all pure. It's just individuals that get exposed. All right, that's all that did. It just exposed that individual for not being somebody that they claim to have been. All right, but by and large, man, you can't put a stain on this truth, man. The elect gonna see right through it. Okay? So that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. Right? Israel looking for any excuse, man, to continue to sin. And if you ain't right in doing what you're supposed to do, they gonna use it against you. Among whom ye shine as lights in the world. All right? So let's go ahead and close out 1 Peter 5 and 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant. See? You gotta consistently examine yourself. What am I doing? How does that in line with what the word says? And be honest, man. You know whether or not you going against or you going off according to what the word says. Hey, and you got to correct that, man. You see? You got to correct that. So you have to be sober and be vigilant. You have to continue to watch yourself. All right? Because you are going to end up being your own worst enemy. If you can't correct yourself, how much more can you correct those that are following up under you? That's bad leadership. So it says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Right? We know these other nations. We know the heathen amongst our people. They can't wait to see you slip up, or to be exposed, okay? They gonna run with it at the least of the drop, especially when you done made a quote-unquote name for yourself. They can't wait to run with that. Oh, man, look at that. And they may not come out forthright blatantly and say it, but they'll do it indirectly under the banners of guidelines of love. Or we just, showing love all the while, reading between the lines, man. They throwing putt shots. They're throwing jabs at the truth, man. Or trying to through you. You just giving them an avenue to try to throw jabs and putt shots. But to no prevail, man. They're not gonna prevail, man. All right? Yeah, they gonna, get the weak individuals of our people out. I was on the edge or on the fence of whether or not this truth was right, but now I see that I got to go back to being a Christian because of something like this. Yeah, you was weak anyways, man. We don't want no weak individuals, okay? So the sifting season is 24/7, man. All right? Most High is sifting all the time, man. From the desirable, from the undesirable. All right? This was just all another sifting mechanism, okay? You got to be found worthy to receive this truth, man. And then to endure it to the end, okay? So we're going to wrap it up with that being said. Pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong. Stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.